And now our continuing series on the greatest artists of all time. In at number 99, Carl Perkins. Today, Tom Petty talks about Carl. He said, Carl Perkins' songs will outlive us all. On tracks like Blue Suede Shoes and Honey Don't, he took that country picking thing into the rock world. He was an amazing guitar player. Petty said if you want to play 50s rock and roll, you can either play like Chuck Berry or you can play like Carl Perkins. Considering how important he is to rock history, many people don't know about him, but the right people did. The Beatles covered 5 of Carl's songs on record. Carl was actually there in the studio when the Beatles cut some of them. Just listen to that guitar break in All My Lovin'. George Harrison told me that the Beatles would study the B-sides of Carl's records to learn everything that they could from him. Tom Petty says Carl was the real deal, a true rockabilly cat. He told me about picking cotton when he was a kid and learning the blues from an older black field hand that he knew. Carl would go home from the fields and be practicing a Roy Acuff country type of thing on his guitar, and then he'd start bending the notes. He told me his father would actually get mad, saying, "Play that thing right, boy," or "Don't play it at all." But it was organic with Carl. He took it to the honky-tonks, the real honky-tonks, where people would be drinking out of a jug. It sounds like a cliche now, but that rock music was born out of cornfields and honky-tonks. But with Carl, it was all true. He didn't get the breaks he deserved. Hard luck seemed to follow him around. He had a terrible car crash on the way to the Ed Sullivan Show when Blue Suede Shoes was breaking really big. Elvis ended up covering the song and took a lot of the glory right there. Some people might not know that Carl played guitar with Johnny Cash for 10 years on the road. At a certain point in the 60s, things got tough for Carl, though. He had a drinking problem, which he eventually overcame, and he went back into the lead guitar business. Carl himself was a very bright guy and very funny. He once told me, "Tom, I like you so much, if I lived by you, I'd cut your grass." That warmth and wit came through in his music. He was not the kind of guy to blow his own horn. He was very humble. Petty said, when we did a long stand at the Fillmore in the late 90s, I talked Carl into sitting in with us. Backstage, he was very nervous about coming out with us. He said, "They may not know who I am." I told him, "Carl, they're going to know you and love you." When Carl hit the stage, he just ripped the room apart. Neil Young was there that night. He was just shaking his head. Carl was that good. Our song for today is a rock and roll standard, written and first recorded by Carl Perkins in 1955. It's considered one of the first rockabilly records. It incorporates elements of the blues, country, and pop music of the time. In at number 99 on our greatest artists of all time, here's Carl Perkins.
Well, it's 1 for the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready. Now go, cat, go, but don't you step on my blue suede shoe. You can do anything but lay off of my blue suede shoe. Well, you can knock me down, step in my face, slander my name all over the place, and do anything that you wanna do. But honey, lay off of my shoes, and don't you step on my blue suede shoe. You can do anything but lay off of my blue suede shoe. My house, steal my car, drink my liquor from my old fruit jar, and do anything that you wanna do. But honey, lay off of them shoes, and don't you step on my blue suede shoe. You can do anything but lay off of my blue suede shoe. Right. For the money, 2 for the show, 3 to get ready. Now go, cat, go, but don't you step on my blue suede shoe.